Good afternoon everyone, it's Carol at Oak House Journals. I thought I'd just pop in today with a quick update on how I'm getting on with my embroidery pieces for my Postcards from England fabric journal. The last one you saw me create was this one, and I literally had just lifted it out of the hoop. I've given it a press since then, just a cursory one, and I've got it off to one side ready to make up into the fabric postcard in due course. As you can see, I've still got a crease along the bottom here, and I'm hoping that when I make this into its fabric postcard and give it another press that will come out. The one I was planning to do after this one was this one, but as I mentioned to you in the last video, I need to paint the background on this one before I can start stitching, and I just really haven't had time to do that, particularly as I want to do it on camera for you so that those of you who haven't seen how to paint on fabric realise that there's nothing to it. It is quite simple. All you've got to do is just give it a go, and once you've done it once you'll be fine at doing it again. So I haven't got around to doing this one, but I will very shortly. So I made a start on this one, which is another one of my subscription series kits, and as you can see, this is the Dahlia patch, and that's the cardboard postcard of what the finished embroidery should look like. So if I lift this away, you can see how I've got on. Now again, this has just come out of the hoop yesterday. I haven't had a chance to give it a press yet, but I will do shortly. As you can see from the picture here, I have altered some of the stitching just very slightly, just to please myself, as is my wont. I've added some tiny little French knots in here, a lot more than the instructions said for this one, just to give a little bit of delicacy around my leaves and to make it look like a proper bouquet of flowers. Here, it's recommended in the instructions that you actually use, I think it's 3 strands of DMC thread or floss to create a bow. Now, I know when I've tried stitching bows before that I don't really get a good finish when I try doing satin stitch bows. So I decided that I would just add this little ribbon across the bottom there, and that actually gives it a little bit more movement, a little bit more dimension. What else have I done? I've added some grasses up in here and some there, using a stitch that Jennifer Coulston showed in one of her videos, which is really just a reverse single chain stitch on a stem, but it's so effective and I love it for grasses. And I've added a few little extra single chain stitches dotted around up here in amongst my fly stitch for more interest. So that's what this one looks like, and now all I need to do, as I've done with all the others, is give it a cursory press into its shape. And to do that, all I normally do is put my postcard behind it and press it in place like so, and then pop it in my project box until I am ready to make it into the fabric postcard. So that one goes on my pressing pile. This one has, as I've said, had a cursory press. It's got the postcard inside, and this one has been sitting in my project box ready for making up into its fabric postcard. Those of you that were listening closely will have heard that I finished this off the day before yesterday, and I can't sit with no embroidery to do in an evening. So I grabbed another kit, which is this one, which is called Hedgerow Pickings, and here is the postcard for this one. So that's what this little embroidery is going to look like, and I started it last night and I actually managed to get quite a way on with this one. So I've done all the little cowslips, I've done red campion flowers, and then I finished off with my forget-me-nots, which are all the blue flowers, and then just some split back stitch and some straight stitch for the stems. So this one came together incredibly quickly. I'm going to go in this evening and do the stitching for the jug, and then down here, which is the table or whatever it's supposed to be grounded on. And hopefully I should have that finished later on this evening, and that will give me an opportunity to get on with the video for painting the background for that bridge scene. So there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I'm getting on with these little postcards, and I hope you'll join me for the next catch up in a couple of days. So until then, take care, everybody. Bye bye now.